On this week's show, Peloton will send instructors to more events and plans to expand their nutrition content.
Plus, Emma Lovewell is recording a new program, a behind the scenes of scenic classes is shown, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and Chris Lewis.
Welcome to episode 236 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Pelo Buddy himself, Chris Lewis. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Amanda, how's it going?
It is good. It's good. Hanging in there. Holiday weekend. Lots going on. Celebrating my dad's 90th birthday.
Happy birthday.
So thank you. A milestone I never believed I would be able to say. And yeah, pretty awesome. He's a pretty cool dude, and I'm very fortunate. So yeah, busy
awesome.
weekend. All the kids came in, everybody's in town. Yeah, so it was just a really fun weekend.
Awesome.
A fun weekend. Did you have anything as exciting going on in your life?
Nope. Just a quiet, easy time, which I'll take right now.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, hey, it's amazing. We hit kind of the end of August, September, and the weather changes. The temps got cooler. It really gives it to you in 2 seconds. There's no chance to kind of catch your breath. It's like
not at all, but that's how it goes sometimes.
I know. Well, I will say a lot more outdoor walking. I have definitely been doing a lot more walking outdoors. So that is something I will not complain about. I will not
For sure.
complain about. Well, we thought maybe a quiet week. It's not a very busy week. There were a couple stories to share with you guys today. So sit back and relax. But as always, before we get started with the news, we always just like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. And just go ahead and hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
And we're on all traditional podcast platforms as well. Just search for us over on Pelo Buddy TV, and you can find us on your favorite podcast network. And if you enjoy the show, we're also on Patreon, so you can sign up as a subscriber there and get early access to the episodes as they become available.
And who doesn't want to get an early access to the episode? I mean, seriously, right?
True.
Get all the news earlier than Sunday morning.
Yep.
And of course, folks, we are on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right, well, our top story this week is that Peloton has signaled their intent to continue with their efforts in nutrition and hydration. In the most recent earnings call, Peter Stern, the CEO of Peloton, took the chance to say that not once, but twice. He was kind of talking about his long-term focus of the company and how, Peloton is known in a lot of realms as a cycling company, and they've been making efforts to make it known as a running company, a strength company as well. But he talked about how that they plan to support members' wellness journeys by expanding their offerings, and that includes over time, nutrition and hydration. And then later in the call, he essentially verified that that wasn't a typo, that wasn't a mistake, but he basically said that they've been using their content team as an R&D lab on nutrition. He mentioned they'd been working with Dr. Jamie Schur, who's an expert nutrition and dietitian, and he said that they're going to be testing and iterating on nutritional content over time. So those kitchen videos you've seen on YouTube, some of that stuff, it sounds like they're going to be trying more like that. They're also going to be dabbling into hydration as well. So maybe there's going to be a Peloton Pink stuff you can buy. Who knows? But it sounds like that is going to be an area they're going to continue to experiment with and kind of see where that takes off with.
Sounds fun. All right, well, stay tuned. Well, we've chatted about this one as we kind of delved into the fiscal year 2025 quarter four earnings. But they did, Peloton did reveal that that there is a letter of intent, or they intend to expand the number of instructor-led in-person events to up to 10 times the current amount by fiscal year 2027. So in 2025 alone, folks, they've already tripled the number of such events compared to previous years, with their goal being to continue on this accelerated path, increasing instructor presence at live events by 3 times this year, paving the way toward that 10 times target in 2 years. So these events do span a pretty broad range, I would say, from these monthly run clubs where you can join instructors. They've now included New York as well. They've been doing them in London for some time, but now New York has also jumped on the bandwagon where you can actually run live on the pavement with instructors and have instructors kind of coach you along the way. They have instructor meetups at retail locations, to community events with brand partners like Lululemon. So, use the Lululemon weekend as an example, bringing the instructors together to actually meet and greet and spend time with members rather than just be there to guide you through a workout. This is definitely designed to deepen that member engagement beyond just the screen. They've increased the frequency of these events, which suggests that Peloton sees them as a valuable complement to the digital content that we see on our devices, whether it be the treads, the row, the bikes, or even on the strength platform. If the current pace continues, members can expect to see Peloton instructors at many more in-person events, we're thinking, around the world in the coming years. So definitely stay tuned. I know that has been something that members have definitely enjoyed. Peloton on Tour was a huge success. Folks loved being able to, kind of just mingle and be in a less formalized workout environment. But they've been including even live workout platforms as well. I mean, I went to the one in before the 10K that they had in Miami, where it was kind of collaborated with Lululemon, but you were able to, do yoga out in the open with Chelsea and Aditi. There's so many different stuff that they're doing.
This past weekend, Kira was out in Utah doing a free class. So there's definitely a lot of different versions of these.
So I think that that's an exciting, leap forward. I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to be and how we can connect with them on a different level. So look out for those, folks. We will obviously announce them here. That you will get that information first from us.
Yep. Well, moving to classes and content, Emma Lovewell shared that she is recording a new Peloton program. She posted on her Instagram and social media that she's been working on recording a new workout program, and she was asking her community kind of what they enjoyed about her past programs and what behind the scenes content she would like to see. So it sounds like she's going to be filming some little snippets as she does these programs and sharing them with her followers. Now, the one thing she didn't say explicitly is what the new program is. She did comment, which I didn't fully realize until she said this. It's been over 3 years since her last program. It's been 3 years since Crush Your Core 2. So her 2 programs that she's done in the past were Crush Your Core 1 and Crush Your Core 2. Will this be Crush Your Core 3? Something different? We don't know yet, but she's working on recording it. Normally it's, a month to 3 months sometimes from the time they record it to when it comes out. So it's not, just around the corner, but later this fall or winter, look for a new program coming from Emma Lovewell.
Yeah, and there definitely are tons of new programs out there. Launched this past week, Dynamic Strength 2 is the latest Strength Plus offering from Logan Aldridge. It's billed as an advanced level 2-week program, the newest in the lineup of Peloton's more challenging strength training series. Although it's a sequel in name, you do not have to have completed Dynamic Strength 1 to jump into this. Logan says that he designed it to stand on its own. The program is 2 weeks in length with 3 workouts per week. So on days 1, 3, and 5, with recovery days in between. Each session are full 60-minute workouts. Logan has explained that the program is about kind of building raw strength through a mix of dynamic movement, explosive power, endurance, and metabolic conditioning. The program does aim to ramp up athletes' performance. So as we said, it is definitely a more advanced type program. So you really have to have been, doing strength for some time to kind of jump into this program. But what it's trying to do is to broaden work capacity with increasingly complex and higher volume movements as the 2 weeks progress. The breakdown of each week is pretty much as follows. Week 1, workout 1 is lower body strength plus conditioning. Workout 2 is upper body strength plus pulling power. And workout 3 is full body power plus a metabolic finisher. In week 2, the workouts are lower body strength plus conditioning for workout 1. Workout 2 is upper body strength and pulling power. And workout 3, full body strength. All workouts, as I mentioned at the top, was full hour sessions. And he says he has designed them to leave you energized and feeling challenged. So looking to see for those folks that are kind of at that next level, how this program pans out for you.
Nice. Well, if you enjoy Peloton scenic content, they've shared a sneak peek behind the scenes of kind of what it takes to film them. CSP Media Group was one of the production teams involved in filming the recent, or I guess somewhat recent, scenic classes in Miami that Ali Love and Camilo Ramon had taped. But they could just shared a short video of them behind the scenes, and it kind of shows what goes into it. You see that there are many ways that they are capturing this content. There's people walking with cameras, there's drones, there's people riding on the back of the bikes with cameras, there's, full vans with police escorts, there's people riding segways with cameras, there's dune buggies. So there is a lot of various capture methods and camera techniques that go into this. But if you've ever been curious about what it takes to kind of record those behind the scenes with instructors, which we're not getting that many of these days, but when they do, you can check out this short video and kind of get a sneak peek behind the scenes of that.
Yeah, and you can catch that off the website. So if you go to pelobuddy.com, you'd be able to see the article that was posted there with that video. And it was actually really cool. I have to say, this was something that I really enjoyed getting to see the behind the scenes, because you do kind of wonder, okay, how do they do that? How do they do that? So it was really lovely to see that they kind of brought us back to see how this was created and makes doing the workout just so much more enjoyable, because you kind of had a good
know what's going on there.
Right, exactly. All right, well, this one is definitely some fun. Peloton teased its 4th Bad Bunny artist series last week, with classes being dropped this past Thursday for in-studio lives on Thursday, September the 11th. So if you were lucky enough to snag a spot, that I think this is going to be truly a fun artist series that they're doing. The reveal actually came via Instagram, featuring the album title, and I'm going to destroy this, but my Spanish will try and come out, DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS, from Bad Bunny's latest release. And you saw this at the entrance to Peloton Studios. What I did note when they took the picture was it was white. It was, blackened out because they're still doing kind of the renovations to the front. So you saw 2 chairs in front of Peloton Studios with his tracks playing in the background. The central One Peloton account reposted, as I said, the visuals with a bunny and an island emoji, making the hint pretty unmistakable.
And since then, they did explicitly confirm them, because the name of the classes is the album name.
Yes.
So it's not Bad Bunny in the name, but it is the full name of the album. And so far, we know that there are 3
live. We've
three
got 3
live.
Yep. We've got so the classes will be, Hannah Corbin has a live bar class. That's at 6 p.m. on the 11th. There's a ride with Camila Rahman at 7 p.m. and a run with Mariana Fernandez also at 7 p.m. They did also say that Robin Arzan and Rad Lopez will have classes. So those haven't dropped quite yet, right? We don't know what
Correct.
they are.
Yep,
We
and the
don't
two
know
with
what they
members
are.
are going to be Camila Ramon's ride and Mariana's run will be the two with
Correct.
members that were open to public. Maybe one of the others is an invite only, but those were the two that opened for studio bookings this past Thursday.
Got it. Yeah, so that's kind of fun to have on there.
Yeah. Well, Peloton shared their This Week at Peloton post this week, and one of the ones they highlighted was a new 75-minute long run from Jocelyn Thompson Rule. So if you're looking for some longer content and longer runs, that's available now. They also shared that they dropped some new scenic classes, but not with instructors. These were from Prince Edward Island, and they had those across a variety of modalities. They highlighted some lower body classes from Hannah Corbin. There was a 10-minute foam rolling class, foam rolling hips class, which dropped on Thursday. And then on Friday, they dropped a 10-minute bar, glutes and legs class with Hannah. And then finally, they highlighted that Matt Wilpers had a 30-minute Power Zone ride, which dropped at midnight on this past Saturday. So you can check those out in the regular This Week at Peloton post, and those should all now be available on demand to take.
Yeah, and just a reminder, if you were bummed that there were no live classes this past weekend, just a reminder that Peloton Studios, both in New York and London, were closed this weekend. Meaning no live classes were broadcasted from those locations over the holiday. The studios went dark from Friday through Sunday during Labor Day weekend, with New York City also closed on Monday for the Labor Day holiday. So hopefully it gave you time to either reset and recharge with your family or catch up on tons of on-demand content.
Yep, but if you need a live class tomorrow on Monday, there will be a handful from London. So check the schedule. There will be a couple, even though New York is closed, but they are reopening London on Monday.
Yep.
All right. And then Peloton has teamed up with Chase Bank for another free membership offering. This time it is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. If you have that card, you can go into your Chase account and you can opt into an offer that should be available from Peloton. You just opt into it, and then you can get a statement credit back if you have the Peloton App 1, which is the lower tier app membership, or the Strength app, which you can, if you're in the US on iPhone, you can get a Strength Plus membership only. But if you have either of those app memberships, you can get a statement credit offer back, essentially giving you 2 months free. You do have to opt into that through your Chase account, and you have to have opted in by September 6th. So this upcoming week, you need to log into Chase and do that. And as I said, this is for the Chase Sapphire Preferred only. Now, that's the medium tier Chase Sapphire card. The Chase Sapphire Reserve is the higher tier one with a higher cost annual membership. That's not available for this, but they did just announce that they're going to get another type of statement credits for that card. So if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you're getting credits another way. You're just not getting this specific one for the App 1 and App Strength. So if you've got that card, go ahead and opt in and get some free money back.
Nice. And ¿qué onda, Mariana? Mariana Fernandez hit the 4th floor this past week. A huge happy birthday as Mariana turned 40 this past Tuesday, the 26th. Her mariachis put together the most incredible video of 40 members wishing her a very happy birthday, with messages that she has resonated in her classes. And it really was a beautiful testament to who she is, what she has to offer this platform. Really, really amazing. So feliz cumpleaños, and hope you had an amazing birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. And I guess with that, it's time for instructors in the news. And to kick things off, Susie Chan had an appearance on TV. She is in Australia along with Jeffrey, which Amanda will talk about here in a second. But while she was down there, she took the time to appear on the Today Show in Australia. At the time we're recording, I hadn't seen the full clip yet, but I will put that in the show notes if it becomes available by the time this comes out. But Susie was on Today's Show in Australia, just making an appearance while she was down there.
I am having severe FOMO. Sydney is one of my favorite cities in the world. I was fortunate enough to visit when my daughter studied abroad there in her junior year, and watching the stories of Susie and Jeffrey and Ivan in Sydney has made me incredibly jealous. So yes, this past weekend was the Sydney Marathon. And Susie and Jeffrey have both run the marathon. So huge shout out to both of them for doing that. There was a Peloton shakeout run the day before. And, it's just East Coast time. There's 16 hours difference between East Coast to Sydney. They're 16 hours ahead of us. So, either when I'm going to bed at night, I'm seeing them up in the morning already, like doing their thing. Or if I'm waking up in the morning, they're done with their day. So huge shout out to them. I think it's really fun having the Australian members have an opportunity to get to meet two fantastic instructors. As Susie is so world renowned at this point. Definitely wonderful to have them down there, down under, and enjoying incredible Sydney. I did see Jeffrey I didn't see Susie do it, so I got to ask her, maybe she's afraid of heights. She likes to run just flat. But Jeffrey did do the Sydney Bridge climb, which was one of the highlights of being
Great
in
views
Sydney.
from up there.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I did that with Mark and the kids, and it was amazing. So they're having an amazing time, and really nice to see them, on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Well, Tunde is in Sports Illustrated again. As we shared last week or the week before, she had won the Sports Illustrated swimsuit contest, so she's going to be a swimsuit rookie in next year's swimsuit episode. But throughout the year leading up to that, there's going to be articles and content featuring Tunde, and they had one this past week where she kind of talked about consistency and getting into a routine of things, and she shared her 10-minute rule of getting back into a routine. And it's essentially that make yourself work out, start an alarm for 10 minutes. If you get 10 minutes in and you feel like not working out, great. You at least got a little bit in and stop. But a lot of times you'll find out if you get that first 10 minutes in, you'll be warmed up and ready to keep going, and you'll get through that 10 minutes and keep going. So make yourself do that 10 minutes. And then you might surprise yourself with how much more you do. So that article is in Sports Illustrated. We'll have a link in the show notes if you want to read a little bit more about consistency and motivation from Tunde.
And if you're feeling down on yourself because you're injured, don't feel too bad. Even our instructors get injured. So we had spoke about Maddie being off the platform recently because of knee surgery. Bex shared this past week on social media that she has been healing from 2 torn ligaments in her ankle. She reminded us, though, to stop and be grateful for what we have here and now. She was back on the platform last week, but she shared that even after an amazing family vacation in Canada and doing things she loved, I believe I read somewhere that she stepped on a Lego piece. And that was her reasoning behind the torn ligaments. But she was in a boot for a while. She said she had been sitting at the nail salon and was just in excruciating pain. And thank goodness, went and got it checked out. So don't be hard on yourselves. These things, we're active, stay active, find other ways to, work your body while that particular part of your body isn't working properly. And that's pretty much kind of what she had recommended.
Yeah, but if you had seen a lot, she still had some classes, but they had originally been runs. If you're curious why there were last minute swaps to walks, that was the reason behind that.
Exactly. Which is kind of, I must be honest, kind of nice because she has so few walks on the platform.
Right.
That it was actually kind of refreshing to get to be able to walk with her and not feel like you were dying in a run.
Yep. Well, if you have had a hard time getting into Peloton Studios for a class before, there was a way to do it this past week, but it was a little more expensive than usual. Jen Sherman teamed up with the Eagles Autism Foundation, and the player, it was Philadelphia Eagles player Sydney Brown, and they auctioned off a spot in one of Jen's classes. So for this auction, Sydney Brown was going to be in the class. It was one of Jen's classes, and you would get an autograph football from Cindy Brown as well. The auction, it started out at $1,000. By the end of the day, somebody paid $5,000 to get into this Peloton class with Jen and Sydney Brown. Now, it is going to the Eagles Autism Foundation, going to a good cause. But like I said, a little pricier than your typical $35 to get into class. But that auction took place this past weekend, so they raised some money for the Eagles Autism Foundation, and somebody's going to get a chance to ride with Jen and possibly one of their favorite Eagles players.
Yeah. And I actually saw it was for you and a guest. So there were 2 spots that they were giving.
$2,500 a person.
Right. Yeah. But it's at least you can do it with, you are able to do it with a friend, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I actually kind of like that idea because it is going to a good cause, and it's a way to kind of hype up. Of course, I didn't go anywhere near that because as a Commanders fan, you don't want to do anything with the Eagles. But I am happy for whoever got that. Yeah, I was pleased to see, because when I looked at the story when I was when we were kind of doing the notes, they were at around 3.5. So I was like, so it actually went up to 5,000.
Yep, and winning bidder was $5,000.
Good for the foundation. Amazing. All right, and to wrap up Instructor in the News for this week, Eric Yeager will be speaking at the IFA 2025 conference. The IFA translates from German to the International Radio Exhibition. And it is one of the world's leading trade shows for consumer electronics and home appliances. It is held annually in Berlin, Germany. Eric will be on stage on September the 7th at 11 a.m. chatting about the future of fitness, how wearables date, and community are redefining well-being. He will represent both Whoop and Peloton. So we will be able to catch him this coming week at the IFA conference.
And unfortunately, I doubt they will announce it here, but we are still waiting for them to roll out their integration with Garmin Connect and being able to import the Garmin Connect workouts into Peloton. Speaking of wearables, haven't heard anything recently. Hopefully that's still coming soon, but yeah, still expecting that to be in the pipeline coming down the road at some point to Peloton.
All right, well, let's go straight into class picks of the week. I will go ahead and kick it off. First up, we have Selena Samuela's 20-minute upper body strength class. It was from August the 19th. It was a midnight drop. This one came to us from JMax77, and I absolutely love the full description of why they picked this class. They said there is finally a recent strength class focusing on 80s music. I choose bike trade classes based on music from the 60s to the 90s, but can't do that with strength because most instructors typically play newer music. Selena also emphasizes simple but not easy workouts, and I appreciate that perspective. I've already taken this class 3 times since it has dropped, and I never do that with classes. So definitely, and it's just 20 minutes upper body. So amazing shout out to Selena for that class pick. And then Adrian Williams, his Thunder 45 Tread Bootcamp from August the 21st. It was at 9 a.m. Eastern. This one came to us from Kevin83 Spinner. And they said, you're in for a great workout with any of his Thunder 45 classes. And then Cody Rigsby had a 30-minute 90s ride, also from the 21st. This one was at noon Eastern time. It came to us from Allinger Debbie, and they said just 30 minutes of fun with Cody.
And then we got Leanne Hainsby in her 30-minute Bee Gees ride. That was from the 21st at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This came from Nolo Blondie and Aperol Spritzy. They said, great nostalgic disco magic. So much fun. Go ahead.
And I'm going to add in, because I have not given you my pick of the week, but I got to tell you that John's Bee Gees run, I'll throw it in there. If you haven't done it, it is 30 minutes of pure hilarity. He is so funny in his sparkling, Bee Gees top that Brittany Allen, got ready for him for. Such a fun class too. I preferred his picks than Leanne's ride, to be honest. Loved what he picked for that particular class. So that's my shout out. We wanted to make sure that I get that in there.
And then to round out the Bee Gees, we have Rebecca Kennedy's 20-minute Bee Gees Full Body Strength from the 21st at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. This came from Gwen Gets To, who said this class had a fun structure and great music. And then we have Hannah Corbin and her 30-minute alternative rock ride from the 22nd at noon Eastern. This came from Amy S. Chalk, who said alt rock is the best. So this ride was great.
All right. And then this one is fabulous. Hannah Frankson and Jocelyn Thompson Rule did a 30-minute 2-for-1 carnival ride. Yes, you heard it right. We spoke about it last week. But on the 23rd of August, it was at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. So for those brave East Coasters that got up to ride, you got to see Justin Thompson Rule on the bike, folks. This particular pick of the week came to us from Eric Rides PPC, and Gwen Gets To stating Hannah welcomes Justin Thompson Rule to the bike for an epic playlist that gets you moving. Fun class that was.
And if you don't have a bike, you can also check out the two of them on the walk as well. There's a 2-for-1 carnival walk, and they kind of teamed up for that one as well. So, they both jumped in on each other's classes. So if you don't have the bike, check out the walk. And if you don't have the walk, you can check out the ride.
And don't forget, you can always do the ride on your app if you really want to, go out and walk it. I have to say, I actually did that a lot while I was preparing for my visit to PSNY last week. You can always do that if you really want to do a class and just go and move your body. All right. Christine D'Urclay's 75-minute Climb Independence Pass, Part 1, was a pick of the week from Gwen Gets To. This class was from August the 23rd at 7 a.m. And Gwen Gets To said, I love these rides that track a ride in a real location. Can't wait for part 2 of this one. And then Mariana Fernandez, right before she hit that 4th floor, she gave us a 30-minute outdoor run club. It was from August the 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Came to us from Carly Pop CC2. They said this was Mariana's first outdoor run club, and it was amazing. Her energy is infectious. And I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but she actually gave us a behind the scenes of how they do these run clubs. Because as you know, it is a live class, but they're on the treadmill. So this isn't the outdoor run clubs that members can actually kind of join live on the street. This is done in studio, but you can take it outside at the time that she's actually doing it. And it was kind of cool to get to see those behind the scenes, of her doing it. It is kind of weird in this kind of almost closet type environment, right? That they have to do it in. But very, very cool to see. Yep.
Nice. And then we have Jocelyn Thompson Rule and her 75-minute long run from the 24th at 7 a.m. Eastern. This came from Dippin.22 and All Biz Liz, who said this was so well coached. And then Jen Sherman and her 30-minute yacht rock ride from the 24th at 10 a.m. Eastern. This came from Jennifer Carroll 22, who said another class of great tunes.
I'm butting in there. Butting in there. I was live in studio for that class. And other than the fact that she completely butchered my leaderboard name in the pre-show, I did say to her that she was lucky that John Pruitt didn't have access to the pre-show. I became Sergio 3 on Sunday. And she was mortified when she looked over at me and she was like, I can't say it on your show, but Amanda, it's you. And then, of course, throughout the entire ride, she gave me all this love using my real name because I don't think she wanted to butcher it again. And I did get a lovely shout out at the end, but friends were messaging me going, I thought it may have been you on there. And yeah, so
Nice.
fabulous class with great tunes. It was kind of weird coming at the end of the summer, but she seems to think that there may be, another one or two in the cards before the end of the year. So yeah, very cool class.
Nice. And then we got Benny Adami in his 60-minute 80s ride in German from the 24th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. This came from Sparkly813, who said 60 minutes of amazing energy from Benny.
Awesome. And then Alex Kowarski had a 30-minute max out run. It was from the 25th at, it was a midnight drop. Came to us from Adam PK8. And they said, if you're looking to test yourself with a tough intervals hit type class, this is the one. And then Emma Lovewell gave us a, what did she give us? I lost that. There, a 30-minute alternative rock ride, also from the 25th. This one was at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Came to us from Allison8699. And they said, just love this playlist from Emma. And then Charlotte Wiedenbach had a 45-minute rock ride. It was in German. It was from the 26th of August at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Came to us from Be Better, and they said this was one of the hardest classes I have ever taken. And yet it was still their pick of the week. So sometimes hard is good.
I mean,
don't
got
be
a couple
afraid
in
of
there like that, like Alex K's Max Out Run. That's also a
Yeah.
tough one. So the tough
Yeah.
ones can be picks too.
Exactly.
And then we got Rad Lopez in his 20-minute full body strength class from the 26th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. This came from Julie MJ, who said this was an advanced class and it was quite spicy, but so good. And then Jess King in her 30-minute hip hop ride, also from the 26th at noon Eastern. This came from Filthy NYC, who said, great music. Jess is unhinged. The class was so challenging. And then to wrap things up, we have Dennis Morton and his 10-minute focus flow for riders from the 27th, one of the midnight releases. This came from Meg P. Bauer, who said, great stretch for us cyclists out there.
Awesome. So yeah, some really diverse classes and kind of nice to see some hard ones in there. So it doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be fun. Fun and fitness is good too, but sometimes we have to put some hard work in there. So thank you for sharing your picks of the weeks. It really does make a difference because it allows other folks to find out kind of what's on there that you might have missed or unsure of taking. So it's nice to get some recommendations.
And as a reminder, if you've never submitted before, you can just send us an email on Wednesdays with those. You can find a contact form and email on the Pelo Buddy website, or just send us a DM on social media. We post an Instagram story on Wednesday afternoons, so you can just reply to that. But yeah, just send in a pic and we'll get them added.
Yeah, because it definitely gives us a nice diverse group with, different folks liking different stuff that you may not have picked before. All right, Chris. Well, we wrapped that up really quickly, even with my butting in every now and again. But I figured got to give my opinion too there.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I did. I had a fun weekend being in the studio last week. It was lovely to, I got to walk plus run with Mariana on Saturday. It was a fabulous class.
Nice.
Celebrating a milestone, and then that yacht rock with Jen on Sunday. So yeah,
Glad it was a
yeah,
good
fun
time.
weekend. Yeah, always fun to get to see some just amazing folks. So that, folks, wraps us up for this week. As always, we always like to just thank you for taking the time to put us in your ears or on your screens to get to hear all the latest Peloton news for the week. And don't take it for granted. So the fact that you come back each week means a lot to us. And we really, really do appreciate it. So we keep giving this to you because we know that it is useful information that you may have missed on a post or a story. And we kind of wrap it all up into a nice little bow and hand it to you in now it seems like a much shorter time frame, but giving you all of the latest news. So thank you, as always, for tuning in. So for me here in a very nicely tepid Maryland, with the temperatures having lowered, bye for now, everybody.
And from me here in Atlanta, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see everyone next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag. And don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available. Just search for Pelo Buddy wherever you get your podcast from. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.